Hi guys, MRA back again, and I have another video here inspired by my good friend on YouTube, a new member of our community who goes by the name Sean10081974. I'll put a link in my description to his channel, so check it out when you have the chance. A really great collector with some great ideas for your 1/6 collectibles. And basically I was inspired because he recently put up a video on this guy. This is the 12-inch 1/6 scale Metacom Darth Maul figure. And he basically said he liked it better than the Sideshow 12-inch 1/6 scale figure, which I have here. And, well, I have them both side by side, so I'll have you guys help me decide the fate of one of these figures, because I don't need both of them. And basically I want to keep the best version, so I could use your opinions out there. And speaking of fate, let me play the Duel of the Fates. Get that going. So let's take a look at the head sculpts first of all, because that's pretty key, at least to me. I mean, head sculpt is very important. You can see right away that the Metacom version to your right here, has a leaner head sculpt compared to the Sideshow version. And what I like about it right away is the eye positioning, how the pupils are positioned upwards, and really mean and menacing looking. Whereas on the Sideshow version, they're kind of looking just straight forward, just, you know, looking into the distance. So he doesn't look like he's really, you know, into excuse me, into any kind of battle, you know, ready thoughts or anything like that. Secondly, I like the horns on top of the Metacom's head. They're a lot more pointy looking, in my opinion, and, you know, add to the aggressive nature of Darth Maul. Whereas on the Sideshow version, they seem a bit on the stumpier side. Not too bad, really, but, you know, again, let me give you guys a good look at both of them. What else can we discuss here? Okay, let me pull back and give you guys a look at their heights. I thought the Metacom version would be a lot shorter, because the Metacom 12-inch figures tend to run a tad on the smaller side. But you can see here, they're pretty much the same size, and if anything, the Sideshow version surprisingly looks maybe a hair shorter. So that kind of caught me by surprise, because I really expected the Metacom one to be smaller. And you can see, you know, they seem to be in really good proportion to the other 12-inch scale figures, like this Sideshow Obi-Wan, and my customized 12-inch Hot Toys Luke Skywalker there. So height-wise, they're both pretty good. Now let's go to the robes. I kind of dig the look of the robes on the Sideshow version. I like this part especially, being shorter. Whereas on the Metacom one, it's a lot longer. I don't know which one's more accurate, to tell you the truth. But I kind of like that shorter part on the Sideshow version. When we get to the boots, the Sideshow version has thicker looking boots that kind of remind me of the Hasbro 12-inch figures, or maybe something like what the Barbie dolls would be wearing, you know, where they're kind of just chunkier looking. Whereas the Metacom one, they're nice and sleek looking, a lot thinner. And if we go to the belt portion, the Sideshow has a really cool leather or pleather type material with some great details to the rivets there, whereas the Metacom version is pretty much a straightforward, you know, vinyl cast of the belt, and the details of the rivets are just there and not even painted in. So I might go in there and just paint those in to add a little more detail to it. But that's kind of unfortunate that they kind of went cheap with that. Let's turn these guys around, give you guys a view of the back. Okay, you can see, you know, pretty similar in the back as well. And if I didn't mention it already, I'm going to make this a two-parter. So this is part one, so stay tuned for part two, because they both also came with robes. This is the Metacom Robe here. And you can see the material is pretty nice with some sheen to it. And this is the Sideshow Robe here, which is a little bit more flat. And another thing to note, the Metacom version seems to be a lot darker. It's more of a, you know, true black, whereas the Sideshow is a, I don't know, it's a lighter black, basically. And the Metacom Robe, another plus is that, you know, there are wires in the robe, so you can get some great posing out of that, as well as in the hood area. And the Sideshow version doesn't have any wires in the robe, except for the hood. At least the hood portion does have some wiring. So that's a plus. So let me throw those on, and you'll see those in the second part of this video. And again, you can help me decide which one to keep and which one to get rid of. Okay guys, thanks again for watching. Stay tuned for part two. Bye.